you guys are at offensively, and do you feel like you can kind of show how much potential you guys have by the way you've come out the first 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like offensively we've gotten better every game. I feel like in the first half we played really well. I think we were really happy with how we came out in the first half, and I mean, I feel like we're still going to keep getting better. So it's exciting to see where we're at and how we're going to keep progressing.
Have you ever played in a half of football that was that dominant?
No, I don't think I have. Yeah, no, that's definitely probably a first for me.
Did you know that touchdown was coming to you on that play?
I didn't. It was kind of like a tempo play. So, but once he called it, I was like, I might be able to. And it's funny, I got in on the exact same play when we played Stanford last year. It was kind of like in the similar. I think it was a little farther away. It was like 4 or 5 yards away, but it was the same play, same result. So that was pretty cool.
What did it mean to you, the score?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, it's the first one of the year, but I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest thing is to get the win, and that's what I'm most excited about.
What's it like to be in a game like this? Is it weird?
It's a lot. You know, it is definitely weird when you go up to halftime and they're telling you you're done. You know, you're already getting pulled. So it is a little bit weird because I felt like, I mean, I guess we had a lot of momentum going into the second half, so it was kind of weird to sit and kind of watch for that long. So that was definitely new to me. But I mean, the first half was a lot of fun, and I think you could kind of see that, not even on offense, but just all 3 sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. We were having a lot of fun out there.
Seems like locker room like at the half.
Kind of how it always is. That was one of the things that Coach Riley wanted to emphasize is, you know, no matter what the result is at the first half, we always want to be very vocal during halftime and make sure that, you know, regardless of the result of the first half, that we're treating it the same. So it wasn't anything different than it was last week, regardless of the score, but it's always, you know, the leaders and the older guys in the team always, you know, encouraging and kind of just going out there and Coach Riley saying that we need to, you know, continue to do. We had a good first half, but that doesn't matter. We have to go out there and do the same stuff.
It seemed like you guys were going really horizontal early on. How important is stretching a defense, especially what you saw from this Stanford D?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's always important regardless of the team, you know, kind of keep them on their toes. So I think that was probably a point of emphasis going into this week. You know, we did that quite a bit. So I'm not sure if that was like a game plan just specifically for Stanford or to kind of just see what that would make them do. So.
What have you seen from Caleb these 3 games? It feels like he's kind of not really trying, but really where he can survive while, you know, still putting up, you know, crazy plays and numbers.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's just kind of his game. Like, it may not look like he's, you know, going crazy, but he's still like out there doing plays that no one else in the country can do. So, you know, he's a really good teammate and a really good person. So it's cool to see him go out there and do that week in and week out.
Last year, there was kind of a lot of talk about the familiarity that he had with Lincoln coming in. How do you feel like that has seeped into or kind of transferred over to the team this year in year 2?
Yeah, I think not only for him, but I think everyone's just a lot more familiar with the system. We got a lot of returning guys, especially on offense and up front. So I think that's been very evident in where we are in game 3 now than we were last year, 2 different places. So I think everyone's a lot more familiar with the system, and you can kind of see that.
What does it do for you guys when he rolls over a guy going into the end zone when he's 30 yards downfield?
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. You know, not a whole lot of quarterbacks are doing that. You don't see that. So I was actually blocking on that play, and I kind of had my back to it, and I turned around, and I just seen him stood up with 2 guys, and then just powered into it, and that got me pretty fired up. So it was cool to see.
What does it say about kind of the offense? It's like 8 different guys with touchdowns just kind of coming from everywhere in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's always kind of like that. You know, if you look at like the catches, or it's always really spread out. We have a lot of really talented guys in a lot of rooms. So whether that's outside, inside receivers, or tight ends, you know, it's always really spread out, and we have a lot of talent. And it's cool to see everyone being able to showcase it.
What kind of role do you take on when you know you're not going to play in the second half and there's a lot of younger guys or newer guys to the system coming in?
Yeah, I think one of the things that Coach Riley said at halftime that kind of grabbed my attention is like, you should be exhausted by the end of the game regardless of how many snaps you play, if it's 0, if it's 100. So I was really big on, you know, being able to encourage the guys that were starting to get snaps that they might not get, whether that was any position. So I was really trying to be like a big cheerleader on the sideline and, you know, talk through different plays with certain people. So.
What's it like watching Zachariah out there, and what did you see in spring and fall that kind of, you know, hinted at this?
Yeah, I mean, I knew right when he got on campus, like, yeah, I could just tell, like, in like summer workouts or whatever, winter workouts, whenever he got here in our like speed drills, you could just tell he had like a switch that he was different from other people. So I was surprised, but I wasn't like shocked to see what he was doing when we were in spring. And I mean, I feel like he's showing the whole world now what he can do. So I'm not too surprised because I knew like right when he got here he was different.
Let's do one more.
Over the last 2 weeks, how much have you guys fed off what the defense has done when you guys are on the sideline?
Oh yeah, I mean that's everything. I mean, we try to emphasize that if you're not on the game and if you didn't just come out, so you need like rest, that everyone needs to be very involved on the sideline with the game. So I think that's very important to our team, and I think our offense does a good job of when the defense is on like a big third down or goal line stand or something like that, we all try to be very like into the game.
Thank you, Lake.